Hello and welcome to the penultimate episode of the second season of the Gem City Gridiron Roundup podcast. As always, I am your host, Dalton Van Pelt, Scotch on the sidelines, your deputy commissioner, your seventh place finisher. Also on the call, we have the commissioner, the newest addition to the two-time champion club.
Two-time!
I'm sure you might be able to hear his wife yelling in the background because he's yelling.
So excited. I've been waiting to say that all damn day.
Two-time!
Two-time!
Well, I don't believe we have a guest this week, do we?
No.
That's all right.
I've been skiing all day. I've been slacking on it. So maybe we'll get a guest during the off season and whatnot.
No worries.
I was trying to get Matt. Matt's in town in Sheridan.
Really?
Visiting for after the holidays. But he actually went to South Dakota for the next 2 days. I was trying to rope him in to come in and do the podcast tonight, but he is out of town.
Oh, he probably went to South Dakota for branding?
No, just to see his grandma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he is just hanging out there, and I'll probably see him on his birthday. He is turning the magical 29 like I did about a week ago.
Happy birthday.
Yep. So we are entering to the last year of the 20s decade before we turn to the dirty 30.
Does it feel pretty gross?
Yeah. I just get old and you got to work out. And
Well, I mean, you've already been pretty old.
Yeah, that is true.
He's rocking his championship jersey from his first championship, as well as his two second place jerseys behind him hanging up.
Yes,
I got
sir.
on one of the Gem Cent hoodies. As you guys know, our foosball expert was on the podcast last week. That was a really fun episode. If you guys didn't check that out,
That was fun. It was fun with Jordy. Fun with Jordy.
But anyway,
that should be a segment. Fun with Jordy.
Let's get into it. Do you want to continue our roles as the talent, or do you want to switch roles for this last episode?
No, I'm good with what we've been doing. I'm not.
All right. I just wanted to make sure you weren't left out. All right. Let's fire this bad boy up then. On Christmas night, while I was driving circles in a perimeter truck, not having very much fun. I probably drove about 86 miles around the penitentiary on Friday on Christmas. I did burn through a crap load of podcasts, but I did learn that it's really not that fun to watch football on your phone when you're driving because commercials.
Commercials.
And then you're just kind of wasting battery time. Yep. And then you're just wasting battery life. But the Saints blow out the Vikings. It wasn't very close. 52-33. Go ahead.
Yeah. So surprisingly, Luke was supposed to be working on Christmas, which he did. I was in the beloved North Dakota. And he ended up showing up on Christmas Day. For the afternoon, and we were just sitting there chatting, playing games, and just talking about football. We didn't watch any of the game, but every time we went upstairs, he's like, "God damn it, Alvin Kamara touchdown! What the hell?" And then he posted, where the hell was this last week? But neither here nor there. He didn't win the third place game. He wouldn't even win the championship game, even with 56 from Kamara. Second highest point total of the year, performance! 56 points.
That is the story of the weekend. He ties Ernie Nevers' record?
Ernie Nevers and Gale Sayers.
6 touchdowns. Gale Sayers did it as a rookie, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah, 6 touchdowns, which is crazy. Like, it was really weird, the stats they posted. Like, 6 touchdowns, highest tie for the highest ever in a game. But 155 yards, that's a career high for Alvin Kamara. Like, really interesting. 155 yards on the ground is not a lot. He only caught 3 balls. So, I mean, he could have had a bigger game, but
interesting.
I mean, it's Alvin Kamara. I mean, that's his ceiling. We know that's been his ceiling, and everyone is given Alvin Kamara shit after the game. They were talking about, well, what about the Taysom Hill vulture touchdown in the fourth quarter? We spread the ball
Yeah, he
around
could have
here.
had 7.
He could have had 7. Like, I mean, that might have won some games eventually, but yeah, Alvin Kamara, 6 touchdowns, big game in the fantasy championships. Won me 1 fantasy championship, definitely. No doubt about it. Played against him in another league. I mean, you win some, you lose some, but Alvin Kamara, stud, going to be in the conversation for number 1 overall next year. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. Saturday, there was 3 games. I was recovering from a hangover, as I'm sure most people were.
Still am.
Yeah, there you go. No, you just kept drinking. You can't get hungover if you just stay drunk.
That is true.
Bucks beat Lions. They blow them out. This game was awful to watch. I can't believe I watched as much of it as I did.
Yeah, I didn't watch any games on Friday, Saturday. Like I said, I was in North Dakota, and then we drove all day on Saturday back to Sheridan. Just kind of followed the stats on Saturday. Saw some highlights. Big thing about the Tampa Bay game, going against Cole, who had Mike Evans, put me in a big hole on Saturday morning. But the Bucks just had a point to prove. Brady, 4 touchdowns. Freaking Blaine Gabbert threw 2 touchdowns. Evans had a big game. Godwin had a big game. Antonio Brown, Gronk. I mean, it was a field day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Matt Stafford rolls an ankle. Despite the garbage time, Chase Daniel's not able to get any production for anyone. I'm pretty sure they just 3 and outed the entire time.
Yeah. The one funny thing I saw from that game was Ryan Leaf tweeted during that game. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that tweet.
So funny. He's like a month or 2 younger than Tom Brady, or older than Tom Brady. I can't remember exactly what it is, but Brady throws for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first half of a professional NFL game, and Ryan Leaf strains his calf while warming up, going for a hike with his family. Like,
that's about where I'm at right now too. I just recently got back in the gym, and I was doing some straight-legged deadlifts tonight, and I immediately pulled both hamstrings.
I mean, yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Today skiing, I fell as hard as I've ever fallen in my life. I lost both my poles. I lost 1 ski. It was all over the place. Half my stuff was halfway up the mountain. It was one hell of a tumble towards the end of the day, and
that's when you were wishing there was a lodge there for a minute so you could go take a break, huh?
It was the last run of the day. I was whooped, and I took a tumble down the mountain. That's for sure. I sold everything except 1 ski. So, but yeah, I mean, I can only imagine. Brady's in the prime of his career, basically at 41 years old.
Yeah, he's not in his prime. That's a bit of a stretch. But
not prime, but I mean, he's producing at a prime-like pace.
For some people, yes.
Yeah, for some people. I mean, yeah, freaking Ryan Leaf, he's training his calf with his family on a hike.
Yeah, that's right. 49ers beat the Cardinals. This game was really hard to find to watch. I ended up having to watch it on my phone on Twitch because it was an Amazon Prime game. I thought it was supposed to be NFL Network / Amazon Prime, and it wasn't. So I really didn't see much of that game at all. Plus, it was the afternoon, so that's cooking time.
Yeah, I didn't watch much on Saturday. Followed along with the stats and everything. Didn't look like a very good game based on statistics wise. Kyler Murray had a down game. Arizona in general had a down game. They've been kind of falling off the map. Kyle Shanahan coaching up a bunch of backups and getting it done. Jeff Wilson Jr., man.
Yep. Dolphins, Raiders. I believe I texted you the next morning to tell you what happened in this game.
I really don't – I still don't get what the hell is going on with Tua Tagovailoa. Like, I know the Dolphins are in a win-now mode, and they're pulling him for Ryan Fitzpatrick to win games, but that's not how you develop a quarterback. I mean, I don't get it. Like, are they really going to pull Tua in the fourth quarter in a playoff game in a week, like a couple weeks? Like, I really don't get it. I think they have a little bit of buyer's remorse, honestly. But I really don't know. Myles Gaskin is awesome, but I don't get what they're doing with Tua.
Listen, They don't care about Tua's feelings. That's what's going on.
No, they don't. And Brian Flores is a good coach, but it's like kind of jerking Tua and Fitzpatrick around. Like, who's the quarterback? Like, who do you trust? Like, I mean, like is Tua the starter for the first 3 quarters and Fitzpatrick comes in and like wins them the game? Like, I
Listen,
don't get that.
Tua had 95 yards passing and had a shitload of opportunities to produce against a
They don't
bad
play
Raiders defense.
They don't play him at all.
I mean,
Like,
it's been working.
yeah, I just don't get it. Like,
The ending of this game was exceptional.
Oh,
For those
yeah.
of you who haven't checked out on the highlights, I highly recommend it. It was back and forth. There's a huge Nelson Aguilar touchdown, and then there was a. Do you remember exactly the order this happened? I feel like I told you exactly what it was. Now I can't.
yeah, it was the Gaskin touchdown, and then the Aguilar touchdown, and then another Gaskin touchdown. Like, it was wild.
Yeah, it was fun.
But both teams, not. I mean, Dolphins. I mean, they might make the playoffs, but
It's not looking great because I believe they have to face the. Wait, are they playing the Patriots or the Bills?
The Patriots?
Then they have a really good shot.
Yeah.
Let me double. They're playing the Bills.
Yeah. Oh, the Bills.
Yeah, and the Bills are looking to get that number 2 seed.
Oh, the Patriots play the. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Patriots play the Jets.
Yeah, it's division weekend across the NFL. Playoff implications all over the board. Players are starting to. Teams are starting to rest players. Pittsburgh announced today. They're benching Ben. They're going to let Rudolph go for the last week. They could move up to the 2 seed, could go down to the 3 seed, but they're locked into those. Same with the Chiefs. Like, people are just Dallas has a chance to make the playoffs. Like, the NFC East is just a freaking.
Well, I think
show.
for the Steelers, because they don't have the tiebreaker over the Bills.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And they think that the Bills are going to beat the Dolphins, so they're like, who cares?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, Pittsburgh could theoretically get the 2 seed, but it would take a lot of tiebreakers, and it's weird.
Well, basically the Bills would have to lose
3.
Yeah. Falcons, Chiefs, Younghoe Koo misses a field goal at the very end of this game. It was a really weird game because the Chiefs I think it was a trap game.
Could have been a trap game. Good call for that. Falcons have played a lot of close games in general all year long.
But they're bad.
But they are bad. Like,
Matt Ryan still throws for 4,000 yards on a bad team, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's today's NFL. Like, you can throw for 4,000 yards in a season. But with Mahomes, I mean, granted, like Tyreek Hill's not fully healthy right now. They didn't play a whole allotment of snaps. They're out.
Travis Kelce had a good game again.
Yeah, but I mean, CEH was out, so I mean, they missed a couple of their top players at full speed. But give the Falcons some credit; they hung in there all game. But Travis Kelce is a man on a mission. I believe he led the league in the NFL in receiving. Well, I mean, there's still one more week.
Yeah, there's still one more week.
Still one more week. He's probably not going to play.
If the Bills play their starters, then Diggs will lead the league in receiving yards.
Yeah, because I doubt the Packers play.
He's actually ahead of Kelce right now.
Yeah, so
after last night.
Oh, yeah, fuck, man. There's some big performance, like studs producing.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But studs were going bonkers in Week 16.
Speaking of trap game, the Jets take out the Browns. The Browns, of course, had Zach rolling out there on his day off to go catch passes. I mean, talk about trap games. Like, what the hell, man? Jets win 2 in a row.
It's a trap game, but I mean, the Browns were at. I mean, again, the NFL doesn't care about disadvantages this year. Like, Broncos didn't play with a freaking quarterback. Browns
that was so funny.
Browns aren't playing with any wide receivers. Just do what you can, Baker. I mean, it is what it is. They were playing. I believe that I watched. There was a lot of that game on Red Zone. It looked like Austin Hooper was playing the X wide receiver. They had Harrison Bryant in the slot.
I need to watch these highlights.
Like, it's wild. Like, Austin Hooper had 15 targets.
That's crazy.
And then, so Hooper, Harrison Bryant, and Njoku combined for like 24 targets.
That's crazy.
Like, it was wild. And then they had the one practice squad receiver. He had like 10 targets. But again, they were down and they had to throw a lot. But like it was wild for the tight end game. I mean, you could have got away with playing pretty much any of those tight ends.
Why don't they just run the piss out of the ball? Is that just because the Jets' defensive front scheme is actually turning the corner a little bit?
Yeah, the Jets' front sevens, like that's the best part of their defense. Their secondary is the worst part. Like they're pretty good against the run. They're not great against like running backs like in the pass game. But their front 4 to 5 is really good.
Well, that makes sense. They've been drafting there for God knows how long.
Exactly. They just keep taking defensive linemen, which means with the win, the Jacksonville Jaguars clinch the number 1 pick,
which is Trevor Lawrence,
draft, which will be Trevor Lawrence, and the Jets will take another Ohio State quarterback bust in Justin Fields. Mark it here, chalk it down.
All right. I'll touch on Jacksonville. Mike Glennon gets the start. They don't do anything against the Bears. I think that was more of a, hey, we need to lose this game to guarantee that we get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and the thing is that like the Bears scored 30 straight for the 4th straight game for the first time since like the 1960s or something. Like just like the Bears are turning on. David Montgomery is what we
Allen
thought
Robinson, David Montgomery.
Yeah, like David Montgomery was what we thought he was going to be last year. He will probably get overdrafted next year. Like we kind of talked about it, like the Tyler Higbee effect, like goes bonkers in the last 3 to 4 weeks.
And that sends a message to you all offseason.
Yeah, like he's going to get overdrafted. Probably a little too rich for my blood. I mean, he probably won't get back to me, but that's fine.
Colts, Steelers. The Steelers mount a comeback in the second half. The Colts were up 24-7, and then they didn't score again after that.
Yeah, it really baffled me watching that game. Like the way that Indianapolis was running the ball with Jonathan Taylor against Pittsburgh's front 7 was they were scheming well. Like Jonathan Taylor was finding holes all over the place and just crushed her. He had like 73 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half, and he only got like 2 more yards in the second half. So I'm not sure what was going on, but Pittsburgh started throwing the ball over the yard, and Pittsburgh clinches the AFC North.
Ravens, Giants. Ravens take the dub. Ravens have the inside track to the playoffs as the Browns have a tough matchup coming up this week.
Yeah.
And the Giants are still in it at 5-10 of all things.
The Giants need the most help out of any team, but they can get it. I don't think they're going to get in there. But with the Browns, like, if you're an AFC team, you would rather want the Browns in the playoffs, I believe, than the Ravens, because you have like the Ravens, you have the reigning MVP of the league. Like
that defense is coming into form.
Exactly, defense is coming into form. Or you have, I mean, Baker Mayfield's turned it around, but it's Baker Mayfield or Lamar Jackson. Who do you want in the playoffs? You want to play against Baker Mayfield. So
I think that might partly be why the Steelers are resting their starters as well. It's another reason.
Because if the Browns win, they're in no matter what.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it would still leave the Ravens outside looking in, and they're playing against the Bengals. Like if the Steelers and Mason Rudolph beat, like, this is gonna be funny. I want to see the storyline. Like, the Browns are gonna be playing their butt off, and Myles Garrett is gonna try to be sacking Mason Rudolph. I want to see.
Oh, man, it's a rerun of Week 17.
Yeah, like, so I'm excited.
Or 16 last year, I think.
Yeah, like, that's going to be interesting to see Mason Rudolph, like, see how that works out with those guys. But I could see how Pittsburgh might end up playing Cleveland again. Like, so they would rather see Cleveland than Baltimore for sure.
Bengals beat the Texans. The Texans are bad. The Bengals are bad. Brandon Allen actually had an amazing game. Going into the Sunday night game, I think he was the leader for the week in receiving passing yards.
Yeah, I believe he finished number 1 in passing yards for the week.
That's crazy.
Like, that's wild. And I mean, and maybe it's just because Houston's defense is bad, but they were going out there like Bengals have won 2 in a row. I mean, like, I'm still so excited to see what Joe Burrow can do with that team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like Joe Burrow's missed 40% of the year. Like Joe Mixon has missed a lot of the year. Like they have great, like Tyler Boyd's good. He missed a little bit of time. T. Higgins is going to be really good. Like they put it on the Texans. That game was pretty fun to watch, honestly. It was a high scoring game. And it was a fun game to watch. No doubt about it.
Chargers finally win a close one against the Broncos. I'm sorry, Broncos fans, move on from Drew Lock. I know that the stats are close to Josh Allen, but he's not winning. Josh Allen was winning.
The difference between Josh Allen and Drew Lock is the rushing ability that
that's true.
That Josh Allen gives. He might not have had a great first 16 games, but he was at least providing some effectiveness on the ground, whereas Drew Lock has just dropped back and sling it. Granted, yes, Drew Lock, he's like Noah Fant missed time, and Cortland Sutton missed this entire year. I mean, I get all that, but Josh Allen didn't have a number one wide receiver until freaking this year, and you can see how well Josh Allen, like a number
facilitates.
One wide receiver, Diggs is just like Diggs has elevated his level to the next game.
Yeah, it's wild.
And like Diggs and Josh Allen are going to be high draft picks next year, because of this. I mean, this season in general, like Josh Allen was going, rounds 8 to 10. Diggs was kind of like, oh, they traded him to Buffalo. Josh Allen's not very good. He was going, around like 5 to 7. And I mean, Drew rode Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs to the promised land of not sitting on the toilet seat. So we'll get there. We'll get there. But I mean, it's like they're going to be highly sought after this year, and like a number one receiver is going to elevate the game of a good quarterback. I don't know if Cortland Sutton is not on the same level as Stephon Diggs.
Panthers, Washington, the Dwayne Haskins experiment comes to a sliding, colliding, run through brick wall end. The dude can't stay out of strip clubs, and he's not as talented as James Harden, so we don't. I mean, Zach and I have been to a strip club together before, but it's not part of our lifestyle. That's the difference.
Yeah, I don't get what he's doing. Like he doesn't know what he's doing either. It's bad. Panthers cut him, and he's only in the second year of his contract. So it's pretty bad. We'll see if he gets picked up by another team. He didn't get.
He will be in the offseason, not this year.
Yeah, he got unclaimed. Yeah, he didn't get claimed today. So I doubt he's on a roster.
Somebody will sign him to a 2-year, $8 million, $20 million.
That's
2 year, $20 million. Hey, it's backup quarterbacks, man. Somebody's going to sign him to a 2-year, $20 million, $4 million guaranteed.
That's awful. It's throwing away your
Panthers. Yeah, maybe. Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be good enough to get you 7 and 9, and that's about it. He's a good facilitator. Robbie Anderson had a killer year this year because of him. I mean, it didn't help. McCaffrey was out, but that team still needs a lot of help.
They might have been a little better. They might have been a 10-6 ball club with McCaffrey, but that's about it. It's not much different. They're definitely going to be losing Curtis Samuel this year. They're not paying him. Well, they probably want to.
He'll go somewhere else and make a couple million.
Yeah, I mean, he proved himself well. Like, the Panthers should have signed him ahead of time, but he's going to be gone. He's played real well this year, but he'll be moving on. But the Panthers are out of it. Looks like McCaffrey is not going to play next week. Kind of saw that writing on the wall. Why would you play McCaffrey down the stretch when you're out? So
they're going to play Bridgewater, but
yeah, they'll play. They'll play their starters, but they're not going to let McCaffrey get on the field.
No, just because he's been so hurt. But Cowboys take out the Eagles. As a Cowboys fan, that's very frustrating. I would have much rather seen them go 4-12 or 5-11, just so we can actually get some defensive help. The Eagles are bad, but Jalen Hurts will be the starting quarterback next year.
Defensive help. Jerry's going to draft
Cowboys defense
an offense. Jerry's going to draft an offensive guy. You know it. Yeah. Jerry Jones loves
Where's
offense.
Darren McFadden?
Offense sells tickets, man. Like, that's –
yeah, if there's there's that running back out of Arkansas. I bet the Cowboys take him. Because Jerry's an Arkansas guy.
Exactly. Or they'll just
Fun fact: I actually had a Jerry Jones conversation in a bar in Arkansas recently. That's not a joke.
That's ridiculous.
Seahawks beat the Rams. This game was also boring. Basically, the first 8 hours of football for my week, and were terrible.
Yeah, the games this weekend were just trash. Like
Yeah,
all the favorites
and then
won. It was just lackluster to watch. But I mean, all the big studs went crazy.
and then a blowout on Sunday night.
Yeah, crazy stuff. It was wild.
Blowout on Sunday night. Devonta Adams goes off. It was a snow game, so that means it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, it was great to watch in that regard.
I love snow games.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is proving why he's one of the best receivers in the league. He might have surpassed. I mean, I know Michael Thomas had a bad year, but it was always Michael Thomas or Adams.
People might be scared that was more of a flash in the pan now, especially with Drew Brees' future not certain.
Mm-hmm. It all depends on see who's the quarterback next year. If it's Jameis Winston, it's possible.
Oh, then he's fine.
Then he's fine. But Taysom Hill's not a starting quarterback.
No, it's going to be Jameis.
It'll be Jameis.
The Saints the Saints are dumb.
You know who I would love to see? Like I was talking with Matt about this, like quarterback shifting. Like this would be
Jameis to the Broncos would be perfect.
This is what I want. I want Jimmy G to go back to New England.
Yep.
I want Sam Darnold to go to San Francisco.
Okay.
I want Cam Newton out of the league.
Yep. Or a backup somewhere.
I want Matthew Stafford in New Orleans.
Oh my gosh.
I want Matthew.
I didn't think about that.
With Michael Thomas, man. Like he would light it up, and then put Jameis in Detroit because that's the most Detroit thing you could ever do.
Is to hire famous Jameis and pray that you guys can fill his belly with crab legs.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Like put Stafford, like Detroit has blown away his his greatness. Like he's the equivalent of Phillip Rivers. Like he's so good.
No, I think he's Archie Manning.
Or Archie. I mean, either way, like he doesn't get to the playoffs, but he's like statistically so good. He's played with great players. Like he played with Calvin Johnson and and Galladay, who's been great. Like they've had like great position players, but they have no coaches that can ever get it done. Like imagine Matthew Stafford with Sean
Payton. I actually really like that. I almost feel like that needs to be recreated in Madden just to see how that feels.
That would be awesome. And Matthew Stafford with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. Like
I actually really love that.
That would be impeccable. Like
good job, GM.
That would be. I mean, could they afford it? I mean,
yeah.
Michael Thomas. They paid Kamara.
You just pay him $27 million per year for 2 years, and then you just fill out the rest of the roster.
Like that would be. That's what I want to see.
He would take a discount to go to New Orleans.
So Jimmy G to New England, Sam Darnold to the Niners, Cam Newton out of the league, Jameis to Detroit, and Matthew Stafford to New Orleans.
I think Detroit drafts a quarterback and they move on and rebuild the whole team and say, fuck you, Matt Patricia. Wait, Patricia already got fired. Just kidding. All right. Final game of the week. I'll be honest, at halftime I turned this off, and that's just because Stephon Diggs had already scored 15 points, and I only needed 14 from him to beat Lean in our work league.
Man, Lean had a bad couple weeks.
Yeah, Lean missed out on the third place spot, losing to myself in our work league, and then he decided to ride the toilet seat even though he had the winning combination on his bench.
Sucks for him.
Yeah. Isn't the award the Snickers Award on NFL.com?
The Stickers Award?
Yeah, Snickers satisfied.
I don't know.
Winning combination.
I do not know.
Yep. And that game was pretty boring. Jared Stidham got in at the end. He's not the answer either.
Nope. Jimmy G.
I agree. It's going to be Jimmy G. This worked out perfectly for Bill.
Yeah, I mean, no dead money in San Francisco.
Nope. So he's going to just go get signed.
Yeah, Bill never wanted to get rid of Jimmy G in the first place. So I could see him hopping all the way back across the continent and back.
The only thing is he what Bill thought he was?
In his system, yeah, probably. I mean, he has battled some injuries and everything. Like Jimmy G's been good when he's been playing.
That's true, man.
Like,
He has had 2 season-ending injuries.
yeah, I think he's like 26-9.
He's
Like,
winning. He's a winning quarterback, but he's kind of ugly to watch, isn't he? I've not seen a lot of Niners football.
he's not. I mean, but Kyle Shanahan's good. Like,
Yeah, he's great.
so, but I do think he does he goes back home and runs home to Bill Belichick.
He has to.
Yeah, because the Niners aren't going to sign him. No way.
No, they're gonna. No, he's still under contract, but they're gonna cut him because it's like $2 million in dead money is all.
It's nothing. Like I think Sam Darnold comes there, resurrects his career away from Adam Gase. But I thought that before the Jets.
Darnold has more arm talent than Garoppolo.
Yes, but I think that was when I thought the Jets were going to be the number 1 pick in getting Trevor Lawrence. They're now the number 2 pick. Like, are you really going to live with Justin Fields as your quarterback? Or get Jameis Winston like that? Like, so they just need – or give Sam Darnold another shot away from Adam Gase in New York. He's still under contract. Like, that's the other option too.
The head coach doesn't matter. He played bad for Todd Bowles too.
Yeah, he's been injured. I mean, he's got talent. He's definitely –
He won't stop making out with strippers. Mononucleosis is a real thing in New York, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know if I might be reporting something. I'm just guessing. There's some dirty people he was kissing.
Strippers
sorry for those of you whose sisters and moms are strippers, but the ones I've encountered have been kind of dirty, some of them. But anyway.
Maybe that should be our segue to a break right there.
Yeah, what a hot take.
What a hot take.
Yeah, very very PC minded there, trying to take back a hot take.
Hot take.
All right, with that, we're gonna catch a refill. I'll talk to you here in just a moment. 5, 4, and we're back. Started the first segment off with an old fashioned made out of special edition Wyoming whiskey. Now finishing off the podcast with Lagavulin 8. Neat.
Nice. I am just drinking out of a small bottle of Jameson, a little JMO.
That's kind of your go-to, isn't it?
No, Buffalo Trace is my go-to. But
oh, yeah. That's not a bad go-to.
No, Buffalo Trace isn't a bad go-to. Got a little gift from Jameson this Christmas. So
gift of Jameson, not from Jameson.
Gift of Jameson from the fame.
All right. Let's get to the matchups that mattered, the last matchups of the year. I think it would be smart to start from the bottom and work towards the top.
Yes, sir.
So the first game to touch on, the Toilet Bowl, otherwise known as the 11th place game, according to NFL.com.
Yes, sir.
Patrick escapes the toilet seat no matter how bad he wanted it based on the team that he put out there. Ozigbo, 1.4 points. Lazard, 3.4.
Double tight end.
Henderson gets hurt in the red zone.
Yeah.
Literally, Henderson fell down at the 4-yard line, twisted his ankle, caused a high ankle sprain right before they're about to give him the rock to score the touchdown.
Well, he basically set a perfect lineup, but
did he really?
Well, no, Christian Kirkwood gave him a few more points, but like
that's a rough piece.
Mostert on IR, Boyd out, Galladay out.
Dude, the thing about Pat's team,
out,
the thing about Pat's team is it had so much potential, and injuries just exploded it.
Derailed his season, losing Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay out majority of the year. Mostert hurt, Boyd been hurt.
And then it just compounded as the season went on.
Yeah, it just compounded everything. It was just had Carson Wentz, he gets benched. It was just everything that could happen went everything that went wrong did go wrong, and Pat found himself in the toilet seat game, but pulls it away by just a few points because Lean's team is absolute trash. No doubt about it.
Le'Veon Bell's really bad.
Worst team I've ever seen assembled.
Wow, hot take. Le'Veon Bell's really bad.
Bad.
All right. I texted Lean that morning because you were having an aneurysm to have him pull Terry McLaurin out. Fun fact, he had Terry McLaurin in both leagues. He pulled him out of the one where he's facing me, but didn't pull him out of the one he was in the toilet seat.
Maybe he was just tanking to get the number 1 pick next year.
Yeah, he is. He's looking for a better spot to get McCaffrey.
You know what
I'm not going to lie.
You know what happens when you tank? He might end up not getting.
You turn into the New York Knicks.
He might not get the 1 pick.
I'm definitely going to make sure Lean is at my house when the lottery draft happens. The draft lottery happens, so that I can make him cocktails and be like, "Hey, Lean, guess what? You're the New York Knicks."
You're the New York Knicks, man. Bad team. If he really wanted to have a bad team, he should have just played. I don't know. I guess his team's bad anyway. If he would have put somebody else in, his bad team would have won. He didn't want that.
So Lean finishes in the number 1 draft position. Pat finishes in the number 2.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to the 9th place game, which was the 2 who escaped the toilet seat ride.
Yes.
Drew and Stuart Brinkman. Drew has the best week of his life.
Drew, the last 3 weeks, Drew has been putting up points. Like last week he scored 150 something.
Yeah.
Like this has been a great thing for Drew. I mean, he didn't get much from his running backs. I mean, I guess Zach Moss gave him a little bit, but that Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack, like we talked about, threw out Curtis Samuel, some Laviska Shenault. I mean, it is definitely a loser's bracket team, but he did just enough over these last few weeks to finish 9th. Takes down Brinkman.
Yep, Brinkman had a rough season, and this kind of seals it. Is this the first time Brinkman's had a top 4 pick?
No, he's missed the playoffs.
He's made the playoffs every year.
No, he's missed the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
This was the second year he's missed the playoffs. He'll be in the top 4 for the second time. I
think Brinkman had the worst team of the year. That's my opinion. Like, you hated Lean's team, I hated Brinkman's team all year.
Well, Brinkman's team, he got a lot of bad like luck involved, like with Michael Thomas and David Johnson. Like it just didn't work out in that favor. He had some COVID.
Well, I mean, it's his fault for drafting David Johnson.
David Johnson was good down the stretch, but I mean, it was rough
for one game, man.
David Johnson
finishes the number 25 running back.
He finishes the number 25 running back. That's how shitty running back is. Like,
yeah, running back is the next tight end.
Well, I mean, but listen to this. So, going through his points, 19, 7, 12, 11, 12, 13, 16, bye week, and then got hurt in 1.6 and then missed 3 games, came back, 10 points, missed the game, 24-28. So
I looked at it. It wasn't as bad as you would think.
I mean, he could be a top 20 running back. He didn't miss any of those games.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But he's low floor. He's low ceiling. He's not low floor.
Low ceiling, yeah, not low. Yeah, he's a running back 2 floor.
Yes, he's not your number 1 running back.
No, he's not like when I won 4 years ago. He's not.
Right.
He's not that type of player anymore. He's going to give you 12 to 18 points a week.
Yep. So that means that Brinkman currently sits in the 3 draft seed and Drew sits in the 4 draft seed.
Drew's in the good spot. He can move up.
Moving on to the 7th place game. I take out Dark Horse by 2 points. Despite it was Cole Beasley. It came down to Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley had a bad game.
He got hurt.
Oh, did he?
He did get hurt.
Oh, he got a leg injury.
Yeah. It cost me 1 leg.
Yeah. Jeff Wilson and Zeke actually went off for him. But I had Gaskin on the other side. Thielen played good, but really he just kind of had a solid lineup across the board. I started a 100% perfect lineup, I think.
I think you might have. Yeah, you benched your boy Gurley.
I missed out on 1.9 points.
Josh Jacobs. Yep.
Yep. 1.9.
You don't bench
Wow.
Josh Jacobs though.
No, you don't. And wow, I'm actually kind of surprised. So that means my team was really bad.
Yeah.
I somehow decided I was going to play PPR for once this year and still ended up with 2 touchdown dependent, volume dependent running backs.
Todd Gurley, Josh Jacobs. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. I still ended up with those 2 dudes.
But you drafted your wide receivers better, no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mari Cooper, Justin Jefferson, Sterling Shepard, DJ Moore, Travis Kelce, like great.
I didn't have a number 1 wide receiver though.
No.
I had a bunch of 2s and 3s, but no number 1.
Jefferson's a 1.
Yeah. Yeah, he is next year.
He finished as a 1.
Did he?
Wide receiver 8.
Wow.
He finished higher than Thielen.
10.
It's wild. Like
well,
the
Jefferson's boom games were out of control.
Oh, they were so out of control. That's the thing. Like they were out of control. But like he finished wide receiver like 8 or 9. He finished ahead of Thielen.
He had 4 games over 25 points.
Yeah, like it's like let me see. Let me pull up the top 10 receivers. Top 12
that's
receivers.
fun to look at. That's a fun thing to look at.
We'll
add that as a segment. Hold on. We'll add this as a segment. We'll take a look at the top 12 of everybody.
All right.
So, moving on to the next matchup, Dark Horse will take the number 5 draft pick, and I am currently sitting at the 6 right there, splitting the difference.
Another good spot for you. It's not bad. You can move up or move down. Not a bad spot.
Well, after moving down quite a bit last year, I kind of would like to move up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I finished in the 5th spot and ended up with the worst draft pick out of non-new members.
That's true.
Yep.
5th place game.
Sackett takes out Blaster, the Battle of the Codys. He gets himself a 20-point victory, taking the 5 slot. I think with Cody fumbling his way out of the playoffs, he really was trying to set an example or send a message, I think,
of how good his team can be.
Yeah, like he wanted to win out just to prove that he could.
Yeah, definitely. He messaged me after like I had a lackluster second week, and he's like, I should have beat you. I'm like, well, you didn't have the shot, man.
No. I mean, he wouldn't have beat me this week, so he got lucky and didn't have to face Myles Gaskin. So what is he actually playing for? I guess he's playing for the 5th spot.
Little bit of pride, trying to set a good line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fault it. I did it last year. I played for the 5th place spot last year.
Yeah, not a bad thing. Both put out good lineups. Blaster had a rough end of the year. Aaron Jones, not great down the stretch.
Yeah, free Aaron Jones, man.
# free Aaron Jones, man. Ridiculous. Blaster's had some trouble with COVID this year. Ronald Jones, Jarvis Landry the last couple of weeks. Kickers on COVID. I mean, kickers on COVID and being out. I mean, it just is what it is. But Blaster will be back, ready to rock next year.
That moves us on to the 3rd place game, the money game.
Money game.
And Heath scores 151, squeaking one out, despite Alvin Kamara on your brother's team.
Yes, sir.
And Heath does not have to pay for the buy-in next year. No. So, if he doesn't show up to the draft again like usual, then he'll have to pay for 0 besides the electricity it costs to get on the Zoom call.
Exactly. Yep. Luke had a very bad game minus the 56 points from Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, man. How do you lose?
How do you lose with Alvin Kamara scoring 56
Oh, okay.
points?
I know why. Because you're starting Lions.
This team sucked. I mean, that accounted for 35% of his points. Like, it was ridiculous.
Bad.
More than that. 35% roughly.
To be fair, only 5 teams would have beat him this week.
Yeah, I mean, 149 points, solid outing, but again, 56 of that 149 came from Kamara.
Yep.
Whereas Heath had a solid overall performance from everybody.
Right, which is what
Wilson,
you hope
Fournette,
for.
Eckler, Cooks,
The
Juju,
only
Waller. Chase
bad one was Edmonds. Yep, but
he got hurt. So kicker defense, you don't really put that too much into it.
No, if you get 20 out of a kicker defense, then holy shit, you're in the lead.
Well, that's a lot. 20 points. I was thinking like
And,
14, 7-7.
yeah, and your
16.
brother got
Yeah.
your brother got 22 points from kicker defense and still couldn't win.
And that was his a couple of highest. I mean, if you think, when you get into these close games where you lose by 2 points, you look at any of your players that, turn the ball over. Lamar Jackson had a fumble. DeAndre Swift had a fumble. Daniel Carlson, I guess, just missed an extra point. Nothing crazy. But, I mean, you look at those players like Swift and Lamar Jackson.
And that's the difference.
Fumble, that's the ball game right there.
Yeah, he lost by 2.02.
Yep, exactly.
So no Lamar Jackson fumble, and he doesn't have to pay for the buy-in next year.
Yep. So
which we know your brother, no matter how much he hates it, is going to travel.
Yeah, he'll be there this year. I'm sure. I mean, it's just crazy stuff, but he'll be there next year. He'll be ready to talk shit. He was, talking it all year long. Didn't quite get it done with Alvin Kamara though.
And the floor is yours.
Dude, time. I am able to slay the number 1 seed. Number 1 versus number 3. He's the number 1 seed. I am the number 3 seed. I was the highest scoring team of the year. Based on my stats for the year, looking at the points for the year, I believe 6 or 7 of the 16 weeks, the number 1 highest scoring team of the week. I am the highest scoring team. I am able to take home the wonderful
Ryan
trophy.
Barrow Suck-Up Cup.
The trophy.
I got a Snapchat from your wife right after you had won.
Well, funny story about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Funny story about that. But 5 minutes before the Packers-Titans game, I pulled up the score, wanted to kind of see what I needed from. I mean, I felt comfortable. I had Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams, my number 1 and number 2 pick, against Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith, who I had. I was trying to work out the numbers and everything. At the end of the game, I was super ecstatic. I had the trophy. The trophy's been sitting in my office since the end of the year because Bill hasn't had it. It's just been sitting in my office. I haven't touched it. Haven't done anything to it. I've been waiting the entire time, hopefully to grasp this trophy and win it. And I was so ecstatic at the end of the game. I came upstairs, had a drink, was carrying around the trophy in my house. Did not realize till the next morning Cole had booted Jonnu Smith out of his lineup and picked up Dawson Knox. And I'm like, oh my God, I jinxed myself. God, Dawson Knox is going to have a 40-point game. I was distraught. I was like, this is ridiculous. I didn't realize he pulled Jonnu Smith out until the next morning. But it worked out in my favor. Able to put the next plate on the empty side. So the next one on here for another 2-time champion. Joined the 2-time club with Sackett. Sackett messaged me during the week, said, well, one of 2 options. You can join the 2-time club with me or be the Buffalo Bills. That's your choice. The rest is history. I joined the 2-time club. But I was able to put down the highest scoring week of the year. I only outscored Drew by just a few points, honestly. Yep.
To be honest, rough luck for Cole. Another crap game from Kyler Murray. Yep. Antonio Gibson with less than 10.
Double goose egg. Yep. Corey Davis and Eagles defense. Cole.
It wouldn't have mattered.
No, Cole had messaged me. He's like, this is the first week I've streamed defense the entire year. If I lose by less than 6, I hate fantasy football. He did not lose by less than 6. He got blown out. But I had a gut feeling to play T. Higgins, and I rolled with it. I wrestled with it all morning long.
Like you usually do.
T. Higgins. What is that?
Like you usually do.
Yep, but stuck with my gut.
About 6 ounces later of Buffalo Trace, and you came to your final decision.
Yep. Devontae Adams, Deontay Johnson, T. Higgins. Great wide receiver core this year. Speaking of which, my tight ends, I had 14 points from Austin Hooper this week. I haven't scored double digits in my tight end spot since week 9.
That's crazy.
And that was my last loss. Like, wild. Couldn't believe it. Very ecstatic I won. Cole had a little bit of rough luck. I was a little nervous after Mike Evans and Jonathan Taylor in the morning. But Kyler Murray, Hopkins, not great games. Gibson coming back from injury. Just got a little lucky on that part. But two of the best teams that made the final definitely made me a little nervous. But Cole was ecstatic. He made it all the way to the championship game. Definitely comeback owner of the year, coming from the toilet seat all the way to the championship game. Great draft, great team, all the way. Cole and I had each won 6 games in a row to get to the title game. I was the victor to get to 7. He had a great year, great team. I mean, great receivers: Hopkins, Evans, Cooper Kupp, Corey Davis. Like, Corey Davis we were making fun of Corey Davis at the draft when he drafted him, and Corey Davis got him all the way to the championship game. I believe Corey Davis is wide receiver.
Hold on. Let's get to that right now.
He's not in the top 12. Corey Davis finishes wide receiver 32. Okay. That's a great flex play. Corey Davis got in round 16. Everyone thought Corey Davis, that was like the worst pick of the draft. And Corey Davis finishes a wide receiver 32, like with a few zeros. Like, bye week, he missed 2 weeks with injury.
This week was a 0.
And this week was the 0. So he had like wide receiver 32 with 3 weeks out.
Not bad.
Great for him. He drafted the 3 rookie running backs who finished amazing. All the props to Cole. He'll be back next year. He's letting me know which jersey he's going to get. He's deciding between 2 jerseys. So we'll see which jersey he pulls out on draft day next year.
It's always fun when a new person gets a jersey. I'm not going to
lie. He will pick either – I talked to him today. It's either Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins. It will be a Cardinals jersey. He said he'd give him a little bit of time to think about it. But Kyler Murray finishes quarterback 2.
Yep.
Hopkins was a top 5 wide receiver. So, I mean, got him all the way there. No doubt about it.
Go ahead.
And I said I'm still deciding on which jersey I want to get. I'm leaning one way, but I'm not sure yet.
Right. All right. You know where my opinion is, just because I think it's a cooler looking jersey. But
D-Hember, baby.
Yeah, D-Hember.
D-Hember! Like,
so
he did not quite finish in week 16 is what I wanted. I'm leaning Adams because he went bonkers this entire year. Most fantasy points ever by average for a wide receiver, 26.2 points a game.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
That's like quarterback numbers.
That's ridiculous.
That's just super flex.
Like, he was on pace to break Randy Moss's 23 touchdowns. He missed 3 games and had 17 touchdowns.
Yeah. So this is actually kind of shocking when you look at it. Here's the top 12 quarterbacks.
Yep, I'm pulling it up. Give me 1 second.
I'm going to go from 12 up. So starting with number 12, you won a bet on this one.
Yes, sir.
Ben Roethlisberger hits number 12 right on the nose.
8 points.
I already knew I lost the bets for the year, so I left work early to make sure I had time to buzz my head and get rid of my mustache.
If you took Justin Herbert, you would have only lost by 1.
Yeah, I know. So Kirk Cousins gets 11. That's kind of shocking.
Very shocking. He got hot down the stretch, though. They started throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah, Justin Herbert ends as a top 10 quarterback as a rookie. He's special.
Very special.
Tom Brady limps into the number 9 spot.
Yep.
That's the first year he's been in the top 12 in quite some time, I believe.
Quite a while.
I mean, that's what happens when you play with Mike Evans, Kenny Golladay, Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brate, all those dudes. You know what I mean?
Yep. Lamar Jackson finished 9, lackluster from what happened
finished
last
8.
year. So Ryan Tannehill at 8.
No, he's at 7, dude.
7? Oh, my bad.
You're all right. I mean, I'm on my phone. It's got the number above their heads.
I'm looking at it. I'm on the webpage. Russell Wilson 6.
Deshaun Watson 5.
Aaron Rodgers 4.
Pat Mahomes, number 3. He was drafted as the number 1 quarterback consensus.
Yep. Kyler Murray 2.
And Josh Allen, Josh Stallion,
With
cousin
the
Josh,
performance,
number
with the
1.
performance last night edges Kyler Murray by under 2 points.
Under 2 points.
Yep.
Kyler
It was that
not
receiving touchdown that Josh Allen got.
Yeah. Had Kyler not been hurt, Kyler would have scored 400 fantasy points this year.
Oh, Kyler Murray was awesome. Like no doubt about it. Like he was consensus. He was a top 10 quarterback drafted, but he finished, top 2. That's wild. That's good.
I feel like that list is kind of shocking. I'm not going to lie.
Shocking. Yeah. Some of those, I mean, not too shocking.
But it's not all household names like it usually is.
Yeah. I guess the only guys I would have been indifferent were obviously Herbert, because he wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year, and Kirk Cousins. Those are 2 guys I would not have picked in the top 12.
I wouldn't have picked Tom Brady in the top 12 either.
Yeah, Tom Brady was your guy that was going to follow the top 12. But great. I mean, great for all of them. I mean, it was fun year. Quarterbacks are different. I mean, season points are definitely different than, points per game, but it's definitely weird.
Now, moving on to running backs, there are 3 rookies in the top 12 amongst running backs, which I think that's pretty typical. I'd have to go back and look.
Which 2 were on Cole's team.
Wow. Look at that. Starting off number 12, Antonio Gibson.
Yes,
he'll be even better next year. Maybe Washington can figure it out.
Mike freaking Davis, running back 11 with no Christian McCaffrey, which shows you how good McCaffrey is. He'd be like everyone. We all knew Kamara's not running back 1. Alvin Kamara had 377 points. Last year, Christian McCaffrey had 470 points.
Yep.
Like 100 more points more.
Ezekiel Elliott, he really fell off the deep end after Dak left and still ended up as a top 10 running back somehow.
Running back 9, Josh Jacobs.
He kind of limped his way there.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt finishes as the number 8 running back. That kind of shocks me a little bit. I thought he had a bad year.
No, and Nick Chubb finished just outside the top 12. He finished at 13. Nick Chubb missed some time.
A lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time. But Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb both could be top 12 running backs. I mean, Kareem Hunt, I was really high on this year. Had him in some other leagues, but I was pretty high on him. Jonathan Taylor
lives up to the 3rd round hype. David Montgomery coming in at number 6.
My boy.
Post hype. He's the next Alfred Morris for you, I think.
I won't reach on him next year. It'll be too high. If he gets back in the 3rd round, maybe.
Which is where you drafted him as a rookie.
As a rookie, which I saw the talent. It just didn't work out last year.
Yep.
Aaron Jones, running back 5, which is not surprising, but hashtag free Aaron Jones. Like he should be running back 1 or 2. Like it's ridiculous.
Number 4, James Robinson, the undrafted rookie out of college that maybe is a Division I school.
Yeah, definitely. I will dub this. He is the free agent pickup of the year.
Yeah.
Granted that he ended up, Patrick finished second to last. Didn't matter. James Robinson, free agent pickup of the year. Running back 4.
That's wild.
Running back 4, man. My boy, Derrick Henry, running back 3, which is about where he's at when he only catches 19 balls for the year. Running back 3 just finishes just shy of 300 points, 1,777 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns, 19 catches, 114 yards.
You know what's crazy is when you're looking at these fantasy points and not just their rankings, there was a huge gulf between the bottom 12 or 12 through 4 and 1, 2, 3. Coming in at number 2 at 337 points is Dalvin Cook, who was just a monster this year. He also missed time.
He missed, I believe, just one game, but almost 2,000 yards in scrimmage, 17 touchdowns, 1,500 yards on the ground, 44 catches. But Alvin Kamara reigns king. Doesn't reach 1,000 yards in either category. 932 yards in rushing, 756 yards in receiving, 83 catches, but 21 touchdowns for 377 points for running back 1. Drafted 6th overall.
All right, top 12. We're going to start this off with a guy that I had an opportunity to trade for and decided not to. But honestly, he was pretty streaky this year, Robert Woods.
Yep, Robert Woods. I actually ended up trading him for J.D. McKissick, who finished as running back. I got to find it. Where was it? J.D. McKissick finished running back 15.
Not bad.
So everyone that was giving me shit, a.k.a. Luke, for trading Robert Woods for J.D. McKissick, it was fine. Robert Woods running back, or Robert Woods wide receiver 12.
Mike Evans, wide receiver 11, another streaky wide receiver, but he scored all the touchdowns. That was actually one of my winning bets.
That was one of your winning bets. Adam Thielen, another one of your winning bets, finished as wide receiver 10 by just a few points. I was really hoping he would just fall just to short out, but that is fine. Wide receiver 10.
Keenan Allen finishes as wide receiver number 9, the best route runner in the NFL.
No doubt about it. Justin Jefferson, the rookie, wide receiver 8, 79 catches, 1,200 plus yards, 7 touchdowns. Finishes wide receiver 8, going to be an early round draft pick next year, second, third round, most likely.
Don't worry, I'll find another gem in the 15th round like I always do every year with wide receivers. Allen Robinson finishes the number 7 wide receiver. When Mitch Trubisky's slinging it, you want Allen Robinson.
Yes, sir. 100 catches, 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's what you want out of Allen Robinson with Mitch Trubisky. Wide receiver 6, drafted in round 6 by your commish, your champ, DK Metcalf, 80 catches, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Mark it.
Calvin Ridley, number 5, AJ Green.
He's washed up. Woo!
Woo! Julio Jones missed quite a bit of time. Calvin Ridley went off. Woo! There's a little bit of Ric Flair going on right there.
Woo! DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver 4, catches another 111 balls, 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns to finish wide receiver 4. Solid option every year.
Stephon Diggs outdoes his projections by quite a bit, finishing as number 3. I had him in another league, and he was special.
Leader in the league in catches, 120 catches.
What?
Yeah, 120 for 14, 59, and 8 touchdowns. Davante Adams would have rivaled him for catches this year if it wasn't for the injuries. But Stephon Diggs, lead leader in receptions, 120 this year so far.
Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, finishes as number 2. I contemplated drafting him in the second round. Whoever did draft him, it turned out great for them.
Yep, Sackett got him all the way at the back end of number 24. That's where Patrick messed up, took Chris Godwin over Tyreek Hill based on the production Chris Godwin had last year.
He was hurt.
Yep. And the number 1 wide receiver in all the land with missing 3 games, 109 catches, 1,300 plus yards, 17 touchdowns for a grand total of 341.8 points. Another player on your commission's team and your champions team, Davante Adams. He was on pace, if he didn't miss those games, on pace for over 400 points. Could have been the number 1 player in overall fantasy.
Which is
Davante Adams, stud, multiple, I believe 3 games over 40-plus points. Just a complete stud. Only did not score a touchdown in only 3 games this year.
And we're going to quickly move through the tight ends. I'm going to read off 2 at a time. Noah Fant, Jimmy Graham go 12 and 11.
Yuck and yuck. Eric Ebron, Gronkowski, yuck and yuck.
Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki, 8 and 7.
Mark Andrews, classic top 5 tight end, just lackluster this year with the Ravens offense.
Listen, the top 6, if you look at it on a point scale, were
just gross.
They were
minus the top 2, 3 through 12, about the same.
No, 3 through 6 are the same. Look at that. 163, 163, 166, 169. So we got Mark Andrews at 6, Logan Thomas at 5.
Yep. And then Bob Tonyan at 4 and TJ Hawkinson at 3.
Yep, living up to the draft potential. Actually, both of those Iowa tight ends finished top 12 this year. That's pretty cool.
That is wild. And all those guys from tight end 3 to 12, none of them caught more than 69 passes. That's awful. And then top 2, Darren Waller with 98 balls caught and Travis Kelce with 105 balls caught. It is a complete top dog race between Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, and George Kittle when healthy. Those are the 3 elite tight ends in fantasy football, no doubt about it.
Listen to this. Travis Kelce was the number 3 running back.
Oh, 312. Where he would have been he would have been the 4th best wide receiver.
And the number 3 running back.
That's wild. That's wild.
He was quarterback number 8.
And just because we will just list the number 1 kicker, that is Jason Sanders from the Dolphins, 152 points. And the number 1 defense, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 144 points. Doesn't really matter what else after that.
Honorable mention, Younghoe Koo, had he not missed that game tying field goal,
he would have been the number 1 kicker.
Would have been the number 1 kicker.
And we'll give an honorable mention to the number 2 defense, the Miami Dolphins.
All right.
Great for them, but
I actually enjoyed that segment. I'm glad we rapid fired that just because everybody who wants that information can go get it on their own.
Exactly.
We just added a little bit of flair to it. Now, speaking of flair, go ahead and give it to me. Tell me what I lost and why I already buzzed my head.
All right. So I did add up the bets. Very close. We did make it. We made great bets throughout the entire year. The final total.
Give me the week 16 bets first.
Week 16 bets. Straight up more points this week. I got demolished. Dalton, you chose Kamara. I chose Dalvin Cook. You won that in a landslide.
I didn't even realize I chose Kamara.
Yep. 56.2 to 16.5.
Holy
Wild.
shit.
Highest scoring running back this is for the San Francisco versus the Arizona game. I had the highest scoring running back for San Francisco. It was Jeff Wilson Jr., 27.4 points. You had Arizona, and Kenny Drake was the highest scoring running
14?
back at 13.
Yeah.
Then it was tight end 12 or wide receiver 40. Tight ends had a very good week this week. Dalton, you did get that. Tight end 12 was 13.3. Wide receiver 40 was 10.4.
Who were those players?
It was, I believe, Logan Thomas and
he was number 12.
I'd have to let me go back and double check.
Yeah, come on.
Give me 1 second.
This is a professional podcast at this point. Come on.
Week 16. I did drop the number 1 tight end before he played this week. That was Irv Smith.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some, and you won. So what's the difference?
Oh, let me go. Give me 1 second. 1, 2. Yep, Logan Thomas, 13.3, 7 catches for 63 yards was the tight end 12, which is high for tight ends. No doubt about it. Wide receiver 40.
40.
40. Let me see. And wide receiver 40 was Kiki Kuti at 10.4. Wide receiver 39, Tyreek Hill this week.
Wow.
DK Metcalf, wide receiver at 37. So
that's the thing with wide receivers, man.
Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 28. Like, it's just it's so, like, there's some big games and some slow games. It's like Justin Jefferson might have been wide receiver 8 on the year, but it was a crapshoot all year long. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get 8 or 30.
He's not as bad as Stephon Diggs was, though, in terms of boom bust. So Jefferson catches plenty of slants.
Yes. With that being said, and then Dalton did wrap up 2 season-long bets. You did get Adam Thielen as a top 12 wide receiver.
And Mike Evans.
Mike Evans as a over 12.5 touchdowns, which was a great bet, by the way. That was a great number.
Right on the line.
Right on the line. And then I was able to get Big Ben as the top 12. So we went 2-1 in the season-long bets. There's a push on the Alan Lazard and MVS bet. That was a fun one.
There's a push on most of our locks.
Yep.
We were wrong on most of
I
our
haven't gone through most of those yet. The worst lock on all those were probably,
Burrow.
I guess, Eckler for you. which isn't bad. My worst lock was Kenny Galladay.
He was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt all year. But
Ooh, both hurt. Yep.
yeah,
Injuries really fucked us on a lot of those block bets.
but the total, myself 19, Dalton 17, close all the way through there. I only needed to win one.
I was
week.
dominating you for a while.
You were. It did go through a swing. I was dominating, then you were dominating, then we kind of split for a while.
Yeah, at the very beginning, you were killing me on the bets, and I was not feeling great about
Definitely something that we should do again next year. Maybe some more season-long bets to start the year.
Yeah. We'll start the year like the first 3 episodes. We'll come up with a couple season longs.
All right, and then I will just update just a few housekeeping things in the Hall of Records. Just a few things.
Oh, yeah, a couple things. Go ahead.
I want to just update let's see here. Regular season champ, obviously we know is Cole. I was the highest scoring team. Highest scoring performance of the year was I don't have the weeks on here, but I was the highest scoring team in 1 week at 191.4. The lowest scoring game of the year was by Stuart Brinkman, 62.08. The top individual performance, Tyreek Hill, 57.6, which is 13 catches, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns by Sackett. That is the overall record. The Damon Award belongs to Drew this year, benching Patrick Mahomes when he had Josh Allen for 40 points. Closest game of the year, 1.54 points, Heath over Lean. Biggest blowout, 102.92, Patrick over Drew. The longest winning streak, regular season winning streak, Cole, 5 games, started 5-0. That was the winning streak. The longest losing streak, Heath and Brinkman at 5 games. Comeback owner of the year, Cole Smith, from the toilet seat owner to top 2. Turkey Gobbler Award to Cole as well. Antonio Gibson, 36.6. Regular season last place, Drew, and the toilet seat to Lean.
I can't wait to get a picture with Lean and that toilet seat.
I am
it's
so
gonna be
excited
on my background
for that.
at work.
I am so excited for that picture.
It's going to be on the background of my computer at work.
Oh yeah, that is fun. Like that is.
Maybe I'll staple a $100 bill to it too, since I took that from him this year too.
Yeah, we'll definitely have I talked about the free agent pickup of the year, James Robinson. No doubt about it. I do want to put that in the Hall of Records this coming off season, free agent pickup of the year.
Oh, free agent pickup of the year.
Yep.
Since we kind of started that last year.
Especially with the bidding, like James Robinson was acquired for $0.
Yeah, I almost think we should do draft steal of the year and free agent pickup of the year.
Well, we all, I guess we did, like we named the draft steal of the year at the draft.
Ooh. I think you should put it on the polls. I think you should create a poll, give like the top 3 options of draft steals. I know it's a little bit of work, but you're not doing shit.
We do list the draft steal at the draft on the board.
Who was it? Your wife shot it to pieces.
It was DK Metcalf.
I think you should put up a poll of the top 3 draft steals and see who decides that award. Maybe we should do that with a bunch of awards.
Be fun.
Actually, yeah, dude, that would be super fun to do. Like, who's the comeback owner of the year? Who's the free agent pickup of the year? I mean, a lot of them are, but there should be some way to make it a democratic system instead of deciding it. But
I feel like Cole is the obvious answer for a comeback owner.
Well, yeah, you just put it against him and
the field
Heath. No, him and Heath, because Heath finished number 3 after not being in the year. That's my nomination. But
true, that is true.
Yeah, put it up as polls this year, because I know how Pat had wanted to like do an award show or something like that last year, but I almost think putting up as polls would be way more fun.
I do want to do some sort of off-season podcast. We will want to recap like any rules changes or ideas that we want, along with the draft lottery. Dalton and I will hope to go.
We'll do our standard. We'll do our standard draft order reveal episode /
I believe we wanted
stream.
to do it with the NBA lottery this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be with the NBA lottery this year.
Yep. So that is a for sure change that is going to happen this year. It is going to be tied to the NBA lottery.
So you'll be able to watch the NBA
hopefully going to
lottery.
meet up in Casper. We were planning on doing that this year, to meet up and do it there and watch the draft order reveal. So I'm
gonna bring Lean with me.
Okay, and that's fine. And we can talk about every team will be assigned a team. So if you want to watch the NBA draft lottery, and you'll be assigned a team, and that is where you're going to be drafting. So that's going to be fun. It should be back on track with after COVID and everything.
Yeah, especially since it's the Olympics this year, which means they actually have to stay on schedule with the games.
Yep. So we'll keep everybody posted in that regard. Dalton, who I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. But it's been a great year. I am so glad we made it through.
I agree.
The COVID 2020 season. I've talked to a lot of different people, like people that are commissioners of leagues. It was just a pain in the ass this year. I talked to Cole, who plays in another league, and he was talking about he appreciates how informative our league is, and with what's going on, especially with COVID this year. Other leagues were just I don't know what the hell is going on. We gave everybody the options for alternates, and nothing came to fruition in that sense. But
yeah, we didn't actually have to use any of them.
We didn't have to use it, but we gave everybody the options, and I feel like everybody was informed with me posting in the Facebook group about when games are moved, and just kind of staying on top of everything. It's definitely I'm ready for the off season.
And baseball
Season.
Baseball.
By the way, adding to another collection.
Why isn't it hanging?
I don't know. This is the football podcast.
Oh my God!
But I am the winner two-time this year, baseball champion and football champion. If anybody wants to come take me down, I'm right here. Come join Gem City Pennant. Try to come take me down.
Another thing that might happen this offseason, we have recorded the videos of every single one of these podcasts.
Yes, sir.
And I think that would actually be kind of funny to be able to relive all these things during the offseason when we're feeling deprived of football. Yep. Just watch me and you just be goofballs the entire time. Especially because sometimes I forget that it records video and I'll just make weird faces and stuff like that.
Like you have your glasses above your eyes right now.
Yeah. I'm seeing the future.
We do have a Gem City Gridiron YouTube page. I do.
Oh, you did make one.
Yeah, I do have the YouTube page. I do have some subscriptions on there. I listen to a couple different podcasts on there. But it's on the Google Drive, and it's for.
Oh, you did put it on the Google Drive? How did I not know this?
So I will post it.
That can be a project this week, since I guarantee you not shit is going on.
No,
you might be able to post all of these, and then I'll just watch them at work.
They're hilarious. Especially, I did not get. I want to get the record of all the people on the podcast for the week.
I bet they're 8-1.
Oh, I bet it's a winning record. No doubt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There might be one loss or two losses. Cole's counts as a loss this week.
No, he was on when he played Luke.
Oh, he's on 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago when he played Luke.
So that's a win.
And me, it doesn't count.
Oh man, I need to go get a new pad for my glasses.
But
just dug into my forehead.
It's been. Regardless, it's been a fun year. I'm so glad we made it through the entire year. I know some people had some bad luck with fantasy, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, COVID fucked us all in some way.
Hopefully, there will be no COVID problems next year. We will go back to the standard rules. There will be no IR spots. There will be none of this stuff. We'll be able to go back to our area.
You know what the worst thing was? Is the week I had to play you was the only week where I actually had dudes in my reserve spot, and it was two dudes who scored 25 and 30 the week they came back.
Yeah, speaking of which, the only three teams I lost to were you, Cole, and Blaster. I'm so glad I was able. I'm
the
so
Energy Bowl.
ecstatic. I'm so ecstatic it's over. I'm ecstatic I've won. I'm going into the off season with another jersey, and I'm grateful that it's over. I know Sarah's grateful that it's over. Um,
Schaefer's also glad that it's over. One of the members of the Gem City Pennant, because his wife does bunkos on Tuesdays, and he's been begging me to come hang out with him and have dinner with him on Tuesday nights.
nice,
Now I finally can because I have him free again.
nice. Yeah, we'll do some podcasts in the off season, and we'll kind of get stuff rolling.
Yeah, it's just whenever we got a wild hair up our ass.
Yeah, but it's been a fun year. I'm glad I'm glad we made it through, and I expect everybody back. No one's told me like, oh, I hate this. I'm out of here. Granted, like there's always a little bit of turnover, but this could be another year where we don't have any turnover. I think.
I mean, I'm not gonna be shocked if we have one or two.
No, I mean I wouldn't be shocked if there was one. Like two, it's a lot. Like
Well, last year we had 3, didn't we?
yeah, but that was a different kind of scenario. Like
Yeah, we had one sore loser. I mean, you kind of just kicked him out of the league just because you were abusive to him in the comment section.
And then we had 2 people just retire out of
nowhere.
Him. So
Well,
I don't think people are going to be leaving. Lean, if you leave, you're a bitch.
Ooh, he's not leaving. Don't worry.
He ain't leaving. But either way,
we do have a line at the gate for people to come in. By the way, I don't know if you know that.
yeah, we got people on the wait list that want to come in and play. So please come back.
I know we never want to go to a 14-teamer again because I know everybody hated that. I found it fun, but 14-team standard is ridiculous.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I told Dalton earlier, Dalton and I are playing in a 16-team league. Who's in the championship game this week, Dalton?
Yeah, it's you.
I am in the championship game of a 16-team league. So
that shit's hard.
Very hard. My running backs are Kenyon Drake and Jeff Wilson Jr.
Dude, yeah, I know. You got to play the hot hand a lot.
Jalen Hurts quarterback. Like, I've been rolling.
Yeah, I barely paid attention to that one. But with that, it has been a splendid year. This is the penultimate episode of season 2. We will not be doing a final episode like we did last year. There's not going to be a State of the Union.
Yeah, there will be eventually.
Yeah, in the off season sometime. But
off season State of the Union.
Yeah, we need a break. Zach's wife Sarah needs a break from Tuesday nights being absorbed, and look forward to the fantasy baseball season as well as seeing all of these episodes being put up on YouTube.
If you want to join the Gem City Pennant, let us know, and we'll make it happen.
I mean, we're only at 10 teams right now. I expect there's going to be some turnover, and I'm not opposed to 12 teams. So I'm not opposed to as many teams as there can be. Baseball, the thing that's different about it is there is players all over the place.
Yes, sir.
All right, and with that, we'll catch you next season.